Hey, we're your Buttons babes. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Alyssa.
Today, the button that we're pushing is the catering to the sexual needs of the patriarchy. TBD how that phrase will end up.
So, okay, we get it. Everyone's probably thinking like, what the fuck
We confused.
Yes, what are y'all talking about? We're gonna get there. We're gonna explain. So what we are pushing and playing around with is the fact that so much of the sex industry or just sexualization of things, like whether it's porn, whether it's toys, is very much so catered to men. Not saying, that women aren't
We have things too.
Yeah, we have things too. And this day and age, there is a much larger push to to support and explore the female orgasm, and that has become, I'm like, woo woo, yes, we want to come too, thank you. But it has taken quite some time in terms of porn that is geared towards what women want to see, toys that are specifically designed to aid and be an enhancement in female sexual pleasure. So, Melissa sent this really great article that...
Link in the
Yes,
comments.
We will put that article in the description, comments, all of those things, that explored the creation of the sex doll and where it came from, how it started in terms of, the early days of fleshlights and...
sex toys have been around for a while.
Yes, that was astonishing to me, because even in the exploration of creating sex toys, for men, it was more, yes, it was for...
This was the purpose.
Yes.
This was the purpose.
Pleasure. Yes.
No question.
Get them off. Whereas women, a lot of vibrators and sex toys came through literal torture and medical experimentations to deal with mental disorders and being
Hysteria.
Yes.
I think that's what I remember reading about.
And I get it, the science in terms of, yes, we going a little crazy. I need to nut. I get it. Yes, it kind of makes sense if you put it in a broad term like that. But the way in which it was
Came about?
Yes, is why? How? The fact that women for so long in history have been an afterthought, but yet we are so essential. Yes, we are essential.
In reproduction.
In reproduction, in
Everyday life.
Yes, but something that I found really interesting in the article with the dolls is there is a whole group of men who have sworn off actual human, living, breathing women.
And you all know how I feel about sex with non-living things.
They are called idolaters. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But they have full-on relationships with inanimate objects, with dolls. So they do not have to interact with women because dolls are complacent. They are there for when they need them, and that is it. That is their view and take on women, which I get it. Groups like that exist. They're out there. Nothing that I particularly can do about it, and don't want to get worked up about it. It's just very interesting to me that the way that so many things are catered to that kind of individual.
Okay, so I totally get being a hermit. In all of this COVID time, have loved being able to be by myself for the most part, but I still just can't picture not needing or wanting
right,
some
type of human
closeness.
interaction.
Especially I love a good whatever, time to myself. I love a good jerk off to myself. But also,
it's self-care.
Self-care, hashtag blast, whatever.
Yes.
I still also, I really enjoy having a partner and, having that connection. I mean, all of the, emotional whatever. I'm not going to get into those.
Right.
but like it's still, even in just friendship relationships,
Okay.
like having like the ability to like reach out and hug someone is still like, I don't know, like it doesn't have to be sexual, but it's still like a need for me.
Yes. Physical
So
touch.
so
like-
I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I can relate, but I can't because
Yes.
I mean, then do you just watch porn? Like to get the visual human with your robot toy or with your solo doll or whatever. I mean, I guess
Right.
ladies
Or-
and gents who only toy or who only toy. I don't know.
or
phrasing.
or like are asexual. Like I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
I definitely don't get asexual.
Okay, that's
I
another-
understand, but I
we're
don't
not there yet.
understand. And I know that there are not many, but like a handful of different types of asexuality. Mm-hmm. So I understand that, but I do not understand more into those layers. But like, yeah, are people
Words.
are people who only use toys and don't seek human companionship in that sexual act, nature, feeling, being, need. Are they on the spectrum of asexuality, or is this toy solo thing its own
Its
layer
own
on this
layer
like,
of
whatever
kink
pie of
and-
sex that I'm like?
No, that's a really good question.
cutting up.
And like even in porn, like I notice porn is very much so more geared towards men. And even though like I do know more men than women that watch porn or like are open,
willing to admit it, yeah.
willing to talk about it. But and it's so porn these days, it's majority of it is so rough isn't what I'm looking for. Like there's so much, but it's catered towards the male gaze. Like
Still,
very
yeah.
much so. There are some companies, some people that are creating, a pushback on that. And like Erica Lust, if you haven't checked out her production company and what she creates, it's fucking incredible. But it's not
Cindy
so.
Gallup also Make Love Not Porn, a great kind of equalizer of like watching real life people
Yes.
make their own porn. If you are into creating that for yourself, that's an option to like monetize off it if you want. If you don't want, also then don't.
Right,
But
and OnlyFans is back in the game. We'll talk about that later.
lol.
But it's also now, like, we're having this conversation out loud. Yes, it's more towards the male gaze, but it's like, porn is not real. Like, it's filmmaking, it's movie magic. And so...
And that's so easy to forget.
Yes, and there's a lack of education in it. A lot of people don't understand that porn is not real. And what I love about Erica Lust and Cindy,
yep.
Cindy is that it brings that element of it. It's not just that it's catered towards the women, but it brings that like, oh, this is what it looks like.
Real
this is real.
sex.
This is the, sometimes like,
It's messy.
yes, the giggles that happen, like sounds happen,
sounds.
like the mess that is made, and there's nothing wrong with the mess. There's like it is a part of it. It rehumanizes porn. There's a layer that it's like, oh, okay. Like sex
It
does
doesn't
not have
take
to.
this many seconds to like.
Yeah, foreplay is important. There are certain things where I'm just like, it paints a different picture. It paints a real picture. And that is beautiful and is important because a lot of people learn from porn. That is what I think some men and women
Yeah,
want
that's a lot of
when they're
sex
having.
education, unfortunately,
Yes.
is what you see
We
here.
need better sex ed. Also, another button. And so this is what we're getting at when it comes to catering towards the male gaze, catering towards the patriarch, and like because also that kind of push, that kind of attention, and I might need to do a little bit more research, but I think there are more dollars behind that. It is so like over the top, and it's eye catching, and it brings you in more because people like to be taken out of reality. They want things that they don't get to see, like and
Experience.
Yes, different different experiences. I was like, what's the word? She just said it. And so I understand, but it's like, okay, well, we're slowly balancing it out, even when it comes to toys and the female orgasm and learning, what squirting is. And it's like entering that whole era of desexualizing certain things to create more of a balance. And so, yeah, that is
more to come on this conversation.
As you can see, more, like so much more to come as we push this button. So please, if you have any questions, any thoughts, throw them bad boys into the comments, like and subscribe to all of the things, and we will catch you next time.